Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the wonders of the world. I thought this would be a good one since it's not really possible to go to some of these places. I thought, well, then maybe we can look at some cool places and kind of distract ourselves for a little bit. So we will talk about the various wonders of the world. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say there are lots of different wonders. Originally, there were just 7 wonders of the world, but because we really love lists, new structures were built, and then we need new lists. So, according to my research, there are the 7 wonders of the ancient world, 7 natural wonders of the world, 7 new wonders, 7 new wonders of nature, 7 new wonders of cities, underwater, industrial, solar system. USA Today has new 7 wonders. There's a lot of wonders. So, since it's such a wonderful world, we could probably devote an entire hour to natural or other things, but there's not so much discussion required for all that. Since 2016, 2/3 of the coral along the 400-mile stretch of the Great Barrier Reef has turned white and died. That was considered a wonder of the natural world. Corals are sensitive to temperature swings, and the rising ocean temperatures have killed them. There is a comeback. I think some scientists have even worked on something to help kind of regenerate them. So that's great. But our goal today is going to look at some of the more visually breathtaking wonders. Obviously, again, we're looking at a screen. The more I talk, probably the worse off we'll be. So I'm going to show some videos, just a few minute clips in length. I think there's 4 videos total. But we'll look at some of the most famous and amazing man-made structures, including 2 in space, and then some of the more rare and unknown wonders. Some I had never heard of before, so I thought it was kind of cool to see something new. If you come away from this either in awe of something in our world or have a little bit more knowledge about it, I'm going to consider this mission accomplished. So first, we're going to begin with the natural wonders of the world. Some of these locations are virtually untouched by man and hidden away, while others are right in the open if you know where to look. We're going to start with a few caves for first. Marble caves in Chile. The marble caves are located on a peninsula of solid marble bordering Lake General Carrera, a remote glacial lake that spans the Chile-Argentina border. The patterns that give the marbleized effect were caused by 6,000 years of wave erosion. Water can do some great things. You can take a boat tour if you'd like to explore the cave, so that's nice. Obviously, we can't do that right now, though. Cave of Crystals in Chihuahua, Mexico. I had never heard of this place. It's in Nica, Chihuahua, Mexico, and it was discovered in 2000. Some single gypsum crystals in this cave are 36 feet long and weigh over 121,000 pounds. They're some of the largest natural crystals ever found. Temperatures in the mine can reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit, so you probably wouldn't want to visit either way. And the humidity is between 90 and 100%, so anyone who enters must bring an oxygen supply and wear special clothing, including vests stashed with ice packs. Researchers can only stay in the crystal cavern for about 30 minutes at a time or they overheat. How the crystals were formed, as well as some of the difficulties with exploring the cave, are explained in this video, which we're going to check out now.
About 15 years ago, when a mining company started pumping water out of a cave 300 meters below Nica, Mexico, we're hoping to find lead or zinc or maybe some silver. Once they finished pumping the water out, they realized they weren't going to be mining anything from this cave, mostly because of the giant 12-meter-long spikes everywhere. The spikes were actually huge crystals, the largest ever found. And the pillars of the mineral as big as 3-story buildings, luckily only hazarded the cave. So the see the crystals for about 10 minutes, because that's roughly how long a human can survive unprotected in the cave. The appropriately named Giant Crystal Cave was discovered in 2000 when miners were drilling a tunnel to expand their mine. They'd already pumped the water out of the area, and as they blasted through the rock, they revealed the 30 by 10 meter cave containing enormous crystals of selenite, a crystal from gypsum. The conditions in the caves are a collection of extremes. The thermometer reads about 58 degrees Celsius on a good day, and the humidity hovers around 100%. The cave contains hundreds of crystals, some up to 12 meters long and weighing about 50 metric tons. It's so hot and humid in the giant crystal cave that the insides of your lungs would actually be the coolest in your lungs as you breathe, and that is not a great thing to have happen to you. Essentially, if you stay in the cave long enough, you drown in your own lungs. So understandably, these conditions make scientific research. So scientists have to go in there with custom-made, super powerful refrigeration suits. Who knows what can happen about a half an hour at a time. So we still have a lot to learn about the cave and what's in it. Maybe in the forms of life from machines. If I say we're looking at the cave report.
All right. Haven't I seen this before? So if some of you think this looks familiar, it does bear a striking resemblance with Superman's Fortress of Solitude. I don't believe that that's where they got the idea for it, but who knows? Then we have the Waitomo glowworm caves in New Zealand. Less than a 24-hour flight from Chicago to Hamilton Airport, and then only an hour drive to the city of Waitomo will get you to the glowworm caves. The area's name comes from the Maori words wai, water, and tomo, hole. Makes sense? The caves were carved by underground streams pushing through soft limestone over thousands of years. The glowworm, or Arachnocampa luminosa, is unique to New Zealand. Thousands of these tiny creatures radiate their luminescent light as thousands of visitors float through the glowworm grotto every year. This is also something that pictures or video can do a much better job of showing the beauty. So we're going to watch a video of it, and I'll stop talking again. Come on, internet. All right, we're going to stop that because apparently our internet is not cooperating at the moment. You get the idea. I love time lapse. So you can check it out yourself too on YouTube if you want to go to it. The Grand Canyon, another place I've never been to. 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and in some places over a mile deep. The Grand Canyon has been carved over millions of years by the Colorado River in Arizona. It could hold all the river water on Earth, and it would still be less than half full. So it's pretty deep. Recent studies of caves near the Grand Canyon place their origins about 17 million years ago. A new test suggests it could be as old as 70 million years. Either way, the Grand Canyon is comprised of 3 sets of rocks of various ages and thicknesses, although we still aren't entirely sure how it was formed. It sure is beautiful, though. And we're going to look at that video if it cooperates. Come on, video.
The North American continent. A place so daunting in scale, no American had yet managed to journey into its depths. The place now known as the Grand Canyon.
So you may not be able to hear what he's saying right now, but there's really nothing important that he's saying.
Volcanic ash, mud, and sand that washed down from ancient mountains. With the hundreds of billions of years of water, oceans, deserts, and swamps came and went across the start of Arizona, leaving behind polar layers of sedimentary rock, so thick that the creative giant reptile just 250 million years ago, the youngest layer of the canyon's walls was laid down. It's a light-colored stone known as Kaida limestone. It was only after these deep and powerful rock layers were formed that the colonial members of the permanent giant came through the plateau's floor. Feeding it with thousands of tributaries, they eroded the landscape even more and helped expose the powerful layers below to create this giant chasm, which reaches in places 18 miles from rim to rim. It's a process of erosion that continues, a process that's created some of the canyon's greatest landmarks, from towering rock pinnacles near Temple Canyon to deep geological scars known as the CHIHUAHUA Cave, and soaring above, the Tower of Rome.
So again, no subtitles, but you really didn't miss much. The only thing he said that you might think might be interesting is in some areas it's 16 miles from rim to rim. So really tough to wrap your mind around how big that is unless you kind of see it in person. The pictures don't really do it justice, but still beautiful to look at. In 2007, the $30 million 70-foot Grand Canyon Skywalk opened, standing about 4,000 feet above the floor of the canyon below. Pretty cool. Next, we have the Victoria Falls. Combining the height and the width together, the Victoria Falls is recognized as the largest waterfall in the world and that it creates the largest single sheet of flowing water. It's located on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. Scottish explorer Dr. David Livingstone named the falls after Queen Victoria of Britain. The Zambezi River pours through the first gorge before zigzagging a series of gorges. In recent years, tourists have flocked to the Armchair or Devil's Pool, where the current is minimal and allows adventurous swimmers to have a view near the edge of the falls. Why you would do that, I have no idea. Even if it's quote-unquote safe, ugh, I don't know. I'm fine with pictures. Thank you. And now we're going to move on to some of the most popular man-made wonders of the world. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Also known as the Pyramid of Khufu and the Pyramid of Cheops, it is the oldest and largest of the three pyramids in El Giza, Egypt. It's the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one to remain largely intact, built around 2550 BC. The Great Pyramid consists of an estimated 2.3 million blocks, the largest weighing between 55,000 and 176,000 pounds. It stands at 455 feet tall due to erosion, but it's thought to have originally stood at 481 feet tall. Without the use of pulleys, wheels, or iron tools, it's estimated that an average workforce of 14,500 people completed the pyramid from start to finish in about 20 years. The amazing thing is, too, that they really didn't have any metal other than copper, and there were no wheels or pulleys. So experts think that they must have pulled these blocks on sleds by wetting the sand in front of it and then pulling it over the top. So pretty amazing. And there are a ton of major engineering feats from the Great Pyramid. Some people think that aliens must have done it because the technology seems even to far surpass what we'd be able to do today. And here's just some of these major feats. The Great Pyramid is aligned within 3/60ths of a degree of true north. The Earth's axis has been shifting slowly as well, so it might have been even more accurate when it was built. Each block is exactly 1 cubit, which is 1.86 feet. That's how they measured back then. Each length of the base of the pyramid is 365.242 cubits, which is exactly how many days are in a calendar year. The length and the width of the base also perfectly correspond to the latitude and longitude of Earth, so it's essentially a scale model of the northern hemisphere. So not only is it aligned perfectly, the measurements are exact as well. So this was no accident. The exact coordinates of the pyramid also correspond exactly to the speed of light, 29.9792458 degrees north, and 299,792,458 meters per second is the speed of light. Coincidence? Seems like a crazy coincidence if it is that. The ground had to be flattened prior to building, and both the ground and each individual block are perfectly level. They have brought laser levels into the pyramids and find that everything is perfectly straight. How I can't even hang a picture straight. So how they can do that with that amount of weight and that huge of a building is amazing. The mortar used to hold the bricks in place might be the reason behind the extraordinary long life of the pyramid. It's in great shape for being as old as it is. Scientists have analyzed the mortar and they still can't figure out its ingredients. And then finally, there are 3 swivel door entrances to Giza. The largest weighs 20 tons. And if you saw it from the outside, you would have no idea that it swings open, yet it does. The mass of the pyramid is an estimated 12.98 billion pounds. Based on these estimates, building the pyramid in 20 years would involve installing 800 tons or 1.76 million pounds of stone daily. So these guys were cooking. The amazing thing is after all these years, there are still so many things we don't know about the pyramid, including how it was built. We can compare Greek and Roman histories to the Egyptians around 680 BC, but everything before that is just an educated guess. There are lots of hieroglyphics inside the pyramid, except no one can really agree on what exactly they mean. Another mystery is the construction of the giant statues that guard the pyramid. For starters, the face on the left is completely symmetrical. When you break it down, all circles composing the eyes, lips, mouth, cheek are all the same diameter. Even with today's technology, that would be incredibly difficult to achieve. And the tools that they use to do this, there's no lasers or anything. So to do that just by using copper or stones to smooth it out, again, absolutely incredible. When you compare the carvings and structures of other locations like Easter Island, Peru, and Mexico, you find similar techniques and construction. And if you chart them on the globe, they extend from one another in a straight line. So it seems odd, like somehow they would have had to communicate to one another. Across the world, it seems that there are similar buildings with similar construction techniques, hieroglyphic writing, and mummified bodies built thousands of years apart. So who built these structures? How is that information shared? Many believe the Pyramid of Giza is the key, but again, no one knows for sure. Then we have the Burj Khalifa, so a much more modern building. It's a really, really tall building, standing at over 2,700 feet, over 160 stories. It's the tallest building, tallest structure, has the elevator with the longest travel distance, and is the world's largest LED screen at 33,000 square feet. Construction of the Burj Khalifa started in 2004 and was finished in 2010. Then in 2014, construction of the massive LED screen began. The building and construction was an amazing feat. Taller buildings require new construction methods. The cost to build is believed to be about 1.5 billion, not including the LED screen, which again was put on later. Dubai is now home to 17 of the tallest 100 buildings on Earth. So next we're going to watch a video of the LED screen. Alright, so we don't need to watch this whole video, but as if the tallest building in the world wasn't impressive enough, they have to have the coolest LED screen in the world too. Oh, imagine watching TV on that thing, huh? Alright, Back to the presentation. Next, we have the Taj Mahal. Commissioned in 1631 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to house the remains of his wife, the Taj Mahal is an ivory-white marble mausoleum and stands on the southern bank of the Yamuna River in Agra, India. It means crown of the palace. More than 20,000 workers from India, Persia, Europe, and the Ottoman Empire, and 1,000 elephants, contributed to the construction of the building. Today it attracts 7 to 8 million visitors annually. The marble dome is probably the most recognizable feature, standing at 115 feet high. It's actually slightly asymmetrical. The Egyptians would not be happy. From the marble lattice to the floor tiling and intricate pierce work, to the calligraphy on the walls made of jasper or black marble and white marble panels, the archways in the mosque, and incised painting, to the outlying buildings and garden. Clearly, there's a crazy amount of detail. Next, we have the Colosseum. Built between 70 and 80 AD, it's the largest amphitheater ever built, located in the center of Rome, Italy. It's estimated that the Colosseum could hold between 50 and 80,000 spectators. It was used for gladiatorial contests, executions, reenactments of famous battles, and dramas based on mythology. The name Colosseum has long been believed to be derived from a colossal statue of Nero nearby. It is made of stone and concrete, measures 620 feet long, 513 feet wide, and 157 feet high. It had 80 entrances, and during certain games, 5,000 to 10,000 animals were killed in a single day. Whew. In the early stages of the Colosseum, the arena could be filled with water to have mock naval battles. It was believed to have been waterproof up to a depth of 5 feet. There were numerous rooms and underground passages where the animals and gladiators were held until it was their turn. There were also 36 trapdoors in the arena for special effects and for larger props to rise up through the floor. So they pretty much thought of everything. Combination of weather, natural disasters, neglect, and vandalism had destroyed nearly 2/3 of the original 2,000-year-old building, including all of the arena's marble seats and decorative elements. Restoration efforts began in the 90s, and they have continued through today. Next, we have the Great Wall of China. The surviving elements of the Great Wall of China spans over 13,000 miles across China, although the original length was an estimated 3,100 miles built by over 1 million laborers over a span of 10 years. It isn't one long wall, however. It's actually a system of many walls built over 2,000 years. Still impressive either way. Some things you may not know. It was largely composed of earth and stone. Sticky rice was incorporated into the mortar thanks to its cohesive properties, and it may help explain the wall's strength and endurance. Sticky rice is good for everything. Wall construction was a common punishment for Chinese convicts. Yipes. New sections of the wall were discovered in 2012, and bricks from the wall were recycled to build civilian homes in the 60s and 70s. Next, we have the Hubble telescope. So we're moving on to some space man-made objects. Launched on April 24th, 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope travels at about 5 miles per second. It's traveled more than 4 billion miles in its lifetime, about 340 miles above Earth. Because Hubble orbits above Earth's atmosphere, it has a much better view of the universe than telescopes at ground level. If you watched last week's presentation about space, talked about that as well. Some important discoveries, again, we referenced this last week, but Hubble has made more than 1.3 million observations and helped scientists estimate the age of the universe to be about 14 billion years old. It has detected black holes, played a key role in the discovery of dark energy. Then we have the International Space Station. The ISS is the most expensive man-made object to date, coming in at over $100 billion and counting. They're constantly doing repairs and adding on to it. Launched in 1998, the first crew arrived on November 2, 2000, and people have lived on the space station ever since. It weighs almost 1 million pounds, is the size of a football field, but only 6 people are able to live there at a time. Did you know the International Space Station is one of the brightest objects in the sky, and it's represented by 5 different space agencies from 15 different countries? Also, did you know they have pizza? Italian astronaut Paolo Nespoli had mentioned missing pizza, so supplies were shipped by NASA Space Station manager Kirk Shireman, and they had a pizza party in 2017. Ugh, love pizza, even in space. So some honorable mentions before we go. Aurora Borealis, also known as Northern Lights, it's considered one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. Basically, it's charged particles from the sun striking atoms in the Earth's atmosphere, releasing light. Although beautiful, something I really want to see, I have a hard time considering a naturally occurring phenomena a wonder, but I do want to mention it today because it is beautiful. And then again, the Great Barrier Reef, as we mentioned before, it's the largest coral reef system in the world and stretches over 1,600 miles. It's definitely worthy of being a wonder, although for how long is unknown due to its current fragile state. So my recommendation to you is go explore. It's difficult right now to travel, but there are a variety of documentaries and virtual tours online right now for free to see all these amazing places, including the Eiffel Tower, the Great Wall of China, and even Mars. Yes, you can do a virtual tour of Mars. So good luck, have fun. Hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next time.